Hey you guys, so I want to make a video, mom of three here, age 60. I want to make a video about some of the things in the manosphere which seem to you guys like they're teaching you something because there are these men that are good looking and fit and they have women and it seems like they have things all figured out. So I want to give you a different perspective. To me, they're a subset of men, kind of like the fringe, a fringe group of men that are coming from pain. One thing that these men have discovered is they're, okay, they, for example, and some of you guys in my comments have said women in relationships hook up with me, so I don't trust women. Okay, the thing is that if you're a person who hooks up with someone in a relationship, you are actually a hypocrite because you are not a monogamous person. I only one time in my life had sex with someone in a relationship, and that was after my divorce to see what it was like. I am a person who values monogamy, so I am monogamous in a relationship, and I don't have sex with men who are in relationships, whether they're married or have a girlfriend. So this there's a world of people who think it's okay for them to sleep around, but they don't trust women. So they're kind of hypocritical because they're contributing to the very thing that they're afraid of. Also, there are also men who have been very wounded by women. And these men that are cheated on, I'm going to say it comes from your childhood because not everyone is cheated on. I was never cheated on. Actually, I think there was one time a guy I was dating briefly who was like a kind of a cheater guy, but I'd only gone out with him a few times, so it wasn't a big deal. But to my knowledge, he's the only one that has ever cheated. Like, I don't attract cheaters. Some people attract cheaters, just like some people attract bullies. If you were bullied by your parents, you will be bullied in school. People feel your energy. So if you're a person afraid of people who will cheat on you, whether it's men or women, this goes for the ladies. Some people are so worried about someone cheating, it's in their energy field internally. They're so worried about it and they also attract it. I don't know how to help you guys get over that, but there are people who never attract cheaters. There are some people who never attract alcoholics. There's some people who never attract abusers. Or maybe they go on a date with them and go like, ooh, this guy's a little too controlling, this guy drinks too much, this guy's a little insecure, and they get out of there. Or, you know, this guy is a little bit of, gives me a cheater vibe, and they don't want to participate in that. So a lot of what these guys have done, they've had, I think, some negative experiences with their mothers, and that a woman can't be trusted, and they attract women that, so they act in a way that attracts women who are that way, or they behave in a way to make the woman get so turned off. I don't know what it is. I'm very curious about it. But it is not true that all women are cheaters. It is not true that all women are gold diggers. And it has nothing to do with my age. People were cheating long before I was born. It has nothing to do with my age. It has nothing to do with social media. It has to do with who you are being internally. So ladies, if a guy is asking you for your body count as an example, and if he's just curious, that's one thing. But if he has like a trigger behind it, then he's coming from fear or he's coming from control. As in, I can only feel secure if I can own you and know for sure that I'm the only one for you. There will never be anyone else. And that insecurity is going to keep being there in the relationship. So, for example, a guy who's worried about a body count, he might marry a virgin, but he's always going to be worried about that chat hanging around the corner because there's this made up fantasy world that these extremist groups have about how relationships are and how women are. Whereas men who feel confident inside and who value relationships, that's not even anything they ever think about. They're like, who's that person in front of me today? How are we relating today? How are we getting along today? Who are they being today? So, in the same way that a man pressuring for sex is a red flag, a woman pressuring you to buy things is a red flag, a man concerned about your sexual history is a red flag. Um, a man who thinks of women as, all women are promiscuous, all women are, just after my money. Those are red flags for people who are still wounded. And I think there are a lot of those guys in the manosphere. And some of them are even like, well, let me see how fit I can get, what kind of women I can pull. I don't hear anything about being relational and anything of honor. The same as the guys who say, okay, I'm never going to date. That's my peach cobbler. I'm never going to date a woman with children. That's coming from wound, because a man of honor and courage welcomes the chance to be a positive role model in the life of a woman, a little girl or a little boy. And it's this me, protect myself, control everything, these things will hurt me, and going around being guarded. And I'm pointing that out because I myself have been working on areas in my life where I'm guarded, and it kind of shows up in the way that some people contact me by email or text, that I get a little bit guarded and I throw out the flares, to protect myself. But the real protection comes in knowing that I'm already safe and that people really can't hurt me when I feel safe in myself. I've been speaking with some men lately about this whole thing about, body count and dating women with children. And, many men welcome the chance to be a stepfather to a child, to adopt a child, to be a foster parent, or for the woman they're dating to take that child on as their own. They welcome that because they're strong in themselves as the provider and having a relationship with the child rather than my genes, this woman is my property and it's got to be my genes. They're totally missing out or have never experienced a family life or relating. I myself, as a woman, I would totally date a guy with kids, 2, 3 kids. Bring it on. I will mother your kids or stepmother your kids or be the little auntie. I love children. And what the world really needs is more people to care about children. I don't get this whole thing, don't date single mom things. I can understand that you don't want to date a woman who is promiscuous, who doesn't value herself, who's let herself go, who's not a good mother. However, if there's a woman who is modest and she's responsible in her life and she takes care of her children, a man is just a blessing, and those children are really a blessing. So what I just want to point out is a lot of these manosphere videos come from people who are very wounded, kind of almost like the triple K people who are really hating, if I can just control how other people are, I can protect myself. And it comes from insecurity, fear, and trying to control other people to be safe. And it doesn't come from like a healthy place. Those of you who think that all women are cheaters, a lot of you guys are going around hooking up with women in relationships. So you're a cheater, you're part of the problem. And to say that, men can have a high body count and women can't, I'm okay with you guys having a different criteria for women than for men. I'm okay with that. I'm going to let you have that one. However, if you want women to have a low body count, why are you banging these women and leaving them raising their body count? You are causing the problem that you're complaining about. And so if you value monogamy, then be a monogamous man. If you value monogamy, be a monogamous woman. Be intentional with your sexual energy. Don't scatter it watching porn or hooking up with people in relationships. I don't even know where some of these people hang out, because I come from a world, my children come from a world, my friends come from a world where monogamy is accepted. And that's not our age. My kids are younger than a lot of these guys watching my videos. It doesn't come from their age. It comes from who they are, what they expect, and how they see the world. And if you see the world as all women are cheaters because your mother taught you that, you saw your mother cheat, something happened that made you perceive women as cheaters, so you're okay with those women, you allow them into your life, and you participate in that culture, So if you want to change this and have a modest woman who values relationships, then you have to be a man who is monogamous and values relationships. So that's one thing to look at. I don't know what all the other factors are. I think a lot of you guys have to go back to your childhood to see, like, where did I learn that women are cheaters? Because it's not a fact. It is not a fact. It is not a reality in my world. I have a different reality. Men my age are chubby and boring. But I think I'm right. I think I'm right. Because I'm 60. By the way, okay, I'm 60, and people are like, oh, women after 25 are over the hill or whatever. But I don't think I'm over the hill. I don't know. Am I over the hill? Am I over the hill? And then I look at men my age, and I don't want some chubby guy who has trouble getting an erection, because relationships are not a charity. So you have a right to expect very high standards. But here's the thing, guys. The moment that I expect somebody to give me something that I'm not, I am out of alignment and I'm out of integrity. So I value people who are intentional with their sexual energy. So I'm intentional with my sexual energy. I value men who are fit and good in bed. I'm fit and good in bed. I value men who have their finances in order. I have my finances in order. I value men who are into personal development. I'm into personal development. So those are some examples. I can't go around saying, oh yeah, I want a wife who's monogamous, but I'm going to go spinning plates and smashing women in relationships because, I got to get mine. So start being the person that you want to attract. Start being the person that you want to attract. That's the main thing. And so those are just my tips. Like I said, I'm a mom of 3. I had a stable 25-year marriage. I don't hook up. I'm intentional with my sexual energy. And by the way, I'm 60, and there's still men that are willing to give me resources in exchange for being with me. So don't believe that bullshit that women after 25 have no sexual market value, because my sexual market value is pretty high. Pretty high. Shockingly high. But in order for men to desire us sexually, we have to be nice. That's why I have to work on super being nice. As when they first contact me anonymously, like, hey, are you available? Sometimes I wasn't very nice. Like, do you have a name? Come on. So they want us to be nice. They want us to be attractive. And that means curvy. In shape curvy. You can have more breast than me. I'm only a B cup. But I have a waist. So you have to be curvy. They like that. And you have to be nice. And it really helps if you like sex and like cooking and stuff like that. Men really like that. But a lot of men also like a woman who's intelligent. Some men want a woman who's not intelligent. That gives them more control, which is fine, you can have that kind of relationship. And some men and some of these guys in the manosphere also say, oh, we don't care about a woman's career because her money doesn't help me. I don't care about her career. And some of these men don't. And that could be, a polarity relationship or a control thing. I want to have all the power, or I want to take care of you and you take care of the house. It could be a positive or negative attribute on their part. But a lot of men want a woman who has a career. They want someone who's also working and who's independent and who has her own ideas and her own thoughts. And that's why Jeff Bezos left his wife for this woman in her 50s. He didn't go for a 22-year-old bimbo that he could control. He wanted a powerful, independent woman who knew herself. And women in their 50s are better in bed than women in their 20s. If you want a sexually empowered woman, you're going to go over 40. So it is such a lie. A woman's sexual value increases with age because she knows herself and she's better in bed, but not her fertility value. Her fertility value is going to go down, but her sexual value can go up. But I'm digressing. What I'm trying to say here is that don't believe there are all these theories out there, men are like this and all men are cheaters and all men are just lazy and they just want to sit around, they don't want to go out, or they just cheat on you, or they leave you and all this bullshit. It's just bullshit. I mean, people are people, people do all kinds of things, and what I'm more interested in is watching the people who are relational. And those of you who are looking for a relationship will be better off, in my opinion, focusing on people who are in relationships and getting some of this negative stuff out of your space and being around people you admire. Start making friends with people you admire. Don't, I don't have any friends who cheat or who are alcoholics or who are abusive. Like, I have no space for that. If you have abusive people in your life, you're going to think people are abusive. If you hang around with alcoholics or drug addicts, you're going to think people are addictive, have addictions. If you hang around with cheaters, or you're going to think people are cheaters. So get those people out of your space and start changing your friendship circle. I think that is the problem for some of you guys. From the comments you leave me, you guys have to change your friendship circle. You got to level up your friendship circle. Because I had a guy over here recently who had lost a bunch of weight, and one of the things he told me was he started hanging out with different people who exercised, who ate well, who didn't drink all the time and play video games all the time. A man who wants to build his career is going to hang out with other men building their career, men who go to the gym and who built their career and who are fathers. Start hanging out with those guys so you can get like a more well-rounded view of the world, because you will attract what you think is possible. And believe me, there's a whole world of women out there who are monogamous and who want to be wives. But you're not going to find them on Fresh and Fit and on the Manosphere videos. You're going to have to change your environment. A lot of toxic stuff out there on the internet. And if it wasn't for the YouTube, I would have never been exposed to it, because in my real life, I don't know anyone like that. And that is not my age. That's bullshit to say it's my age. It's who I am and who I'm being. But like I said, my reality is the good guys are taken and men my age are chubby and boring. But I think I'm right. Just like you think you're right. No, but I actually think I'm right. If you watch the videos on diabetes in America and obesity, it's like going way up. But not in all countries. It's like a US thing. So, and I had my marriage, I'm good here. And if a man can't add to my life, he has no room in my life. So I'm pretty content with what I've got going on here. But that's what I think. I want to know what you think. And, again, if you think that all women are cheaters, I'm going to ask you to do some inner work and ask you, when was the first time you thought that?